Deep from the bowels of the Macabre Theater Laboratory, we bring you Macabre Cast. There is nothing wrong with your streaming service. You are exactly where you should be, where the slush puppy machine is always on and cold. Your favorite horror mag is on the rack, discreetly placed between Women's Wear Daily and Cosmopolitan. I'm your host, Doc Mark, along with my mold-riddled counterpart, Karis, the Little Mummy, here to bring you the latest episode of Macabre Cast, where we'll be dropping R's where they belong and adding them where they don't. Yeah! Newbies, welcome. Regulars, welcome back. And Worsifers, get out of here! This is a safe space for those who remember leaving your hiding spot during Kick the Can to go home for lunch. And that was not cool. Oh. If you haven't already, like, share, follow, and subscribe to my show on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or when I'm not violating infantile community standard rules, TikTok. Tell a friend to do the same. Even that guy who turns every story someone else shares into a bigger story about himself. Oh, wait a minute. Is that me? Oh, I hope not. Yeah, that guy. If you'd like to interact with fellow monster kids, or maybe even the Drac Pack Elite, follow the Facebook page, Macabre Theater. It's there where you can send me a voice message through Messenger. Or, if you'd prefer, send me an email to macabretheater666@gmail.com. Macabrecast, episode 167, and all of its gory glory begins now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Adoro il cast macabre.
Nightmare Fuel, Karis.
Nightmare fuel? What's that? Some kind of spicy latte?
No. Nightmare Fuel is that thing in all of us, that certain something that triggers us when we see it in a film. That personal thing that really scares the bejesus out of us.
Like when I'm in a restaurant and I ask for something gluten-free, and then I start wondering if they could have cross-contaminated something in the kitchen with it?
No, not really, Karis. It's more like some people have a big fear of clowns. You know, just seeing one. It upsets them. Or like for me, when my kids were little, I was afraid they'd be kidnapped.
Oh, I get you.
Do you have a gluten allergy, Karis?
No, why do you ask?
Oh, I don't know. No reason.
Hey, Doc, do you know what they call a cup of coffee with a pair of trousers in it?
No, Karis, I don't know. What do they call a cup of coffee with a pair of trousers in it?
A cappuccino's, of course.
And on that note, it's time for horror news. A Friday the 13th fan owns a work print of Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, uncut. According to the owner, the VHS work print belonged to Fred Mullen, who scored the film. The uncut version has alternate takes, extended scenes, the infamous gore scenes that we've only heard about, and an alternate ending. The new owner had to sign an agreement when he purchased it not to publicly screen it. So it doesn't sound like it's anything the general public is going to see anytime soon, unfortunately. NECA unveils Ultimate Jason Universe action figure based on the controversial Sweet Orange redesign. Mama always said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jennifer's Body 2 is rumored to begin filming in October, and that's it for horror news. And Draven agrees. Draven the blood-vomiting bat. Children of the night, what messes they make. Nightmare fuel is something different for everyone. Not that a demented killer in a hockey mask isn't the thing that scary dreams are made of, but for a desensitized monster kid like me, well, been there, done that. So now nightmare fuel for me usually involves things beyond a person's control, like having your kids get kidnapped or being forced or being involved in a horrific situation or circumstance. One film that comes to mind for me is The Boy Behind the Door from 2020. It's about two young boys, Kevin and Bobby, who are kidnapped and brought to a house out in the middle of nowhere. Bobby manages to escape, but as he hears Kevin's screams, he decides he can't just leave his friend, and he has to go into the house to set him free. This movie never stops its intensity from start to finish, and on a few occasions, conventional beliefs are turned on their head. You can find The Boy Behind the Door on Shudder. 460,000 children go missing every year, but 93% are endangered runaways. A significant proportion are family abductions. Surprisingly, less than 1% are abducted by strangers.
Horror chap Matt knows all about monsters. He said they were coming to get me tonight.
Hey, Doc Mark, Little Cars, and all the monster kids hang out the theater this week. It's Horror Chat Matt back again. Nightmare fuel, Dark Mark, huh? So that's what the topic is. And this ties in nicely to a movie that I want to give a quick review on, and that is Backrooms. While I did not really love Backrooms, it was entertaining enough, way too long. I would have cut 15 minutes out of this thing. I feel like I always say that, but I like movies, especially my horror and comedy movies, to be around 85 to 90 minutes long. Anything more than that is a little too much. But I found myself getting a little bit bored with this thing at the beginning, and then once they started exploring the rooms, it got better. Overall, it's worth a watch. I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10, but I'll give it the extra half point to get it up to a 6 out of 10, just for the fact that it gave me a memory that I had completely forgotten about. I used to have this dream constantly, and I won't go too long on this because other people's dreams are pretty boring to you unless they're your dreams, but I would have this dream more like a nightmare where I was a kid and at Chuck E. Cheese, the cheese factory, you would crawl up and go all around this thing, and it had little tubes and stuff you could go through. And at the top of one of the ramps, there was a half door that was always locked. But in my dream, and I would have this dream on multiple occasions, the door was open and I would go down a flight of stairs and into a underground parking garage, which did not exist in real life. And from there, I would just start exploring, and I could hear my mother's voice calling for me, but I could never figure how to get out of there. So for that, I'll give Backrooms another half point. So 6 out of 10 for Backrooms. I would not go out of my way to go see this thing, but if it's on and you got nothing else to do, there's worse things that you could watch. Another movie that I ended up watching just recently, which actually has another thing that would trigger me, is called Deep Water. And this thing was a lot better than it had any right being. I thought this was going to be a typical plane crash / shark attack movie that we've seen actually just recently. I forget the name of it, but the almost the exact same story and plot was used about a year ago in a movie, and I did not like that one. But this one, I actually really enjoyed it. I actually had Ben Kingsley in it, and the story was what you expect. The plane crashes, and then sharks are attacking, and yes, they were CGI, not my favorite. And I will admit that they had a scene that actually got me to jump. There was a jump scare that actually worked on me. So how about that? It's been a while since that's happened for me. I would give Deep Water a 7 out of 10. I recommend it. I don't know if it ever made it to the movie theaters, but I know it's streaming somewhere right now. And the last thing, Dark Mark, much like yourself, anything for nightmare fuel that is triggered from watching a movie that would trigger real life horror would be anything, like you said, happening to my kids and my wife. Hills Have Eyes, that sort of stuff. And last but not least, why it's not really horror, there are definitely horror elements. I cannot stop talking about this movie. 10 out of 10, The Odyssey. I didn't even see it in IMAX, and I'm giving this thing a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend it. Yes, it's 3 hours long. I know I just got done saying I don't like movies longer than 90 minutes, and here we go with almost plus times 2. But even my 14-year-old daughter really enjoyed this thing. And when we left the theater, she said, I actually really like that. And it didn't feel like 3 hours. So if that's not a recommendation, I don't know what else is. But it was amazing. That's all I'm going to say. Probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't usually go overboard like this. But everybody get to the theater and check this thing out. As always, Dark, make mine Macabrecast.
Yeah, Horror Chat, these reviews of Backrooms are so mixed. I mean, some people view it and think it's the best thing that they've ever seen, and then others like you, not so much. And I hate to break the news to you about 90-minute and 85-minute movies, Horror Chat. Those days are, in the most part, long over. It seems like everything is 2+ hours these days. That's a very 80s thing, the 90-minute film. And Evil Dead 2, I believe, is 85 minutes. So, yeah, I haven't really seen that in quite a long time. And I actually prefer longer. I always feel myself, when the movie ends, thinking, geez, I wish that was longer. And yes, I do remember also that you gave the review about the airplane movie that was attacked by sharks. The other one, I think it wasn't Which Way Is Up, but something Up. I remember Up was in the title. And I remember it was my idea when I was in high school, and I used to draw the little comic strips. And I had made Jaws 5. And that was my thing with two hijackers hijack a plane that crash lands in the ocean and sinks. And the hijackers and passengers have to work together to overcome the abundance of great white sharks swimming around the plane and eating people on occasion. That was my whole plot. And then they made it a film. It didn't do very well. But you say that this film is actually worth a watch, Deep Water. I'll have to keep my eyes open for it. And I think Backrooms is streaming at this point. So I'm able to finally catch that, and I'll have to leave a review. Always so great to hear from you week after week, or even bi-weekly. Horror Chat, we hope to hear from you again soon.
You are listening to Dark Mark's Macabrecast, episode 167, Nightmare Fuel.
I do really love hearing from the Drac Pack every week, and thank you guys so much for calling in and keeping this show consistent and leaving your reviews and everything. And I'm always imploring the people to send voice messages, and I even have an email out hoping to get the other monster kids out there who never call in or never give an opinion to do so. And nothing really ever changes. I can only hope that one day new monster kids will weigh in somewhere with an opinion or a review would be great. And the thing with the summertime too is the viewership and listenership is so low. I almost feel like everybody's up and went somewhere else and is having a great time. and leaving me behind or having a great time without me. I the viewership is down. It almost makes me ponder, should Macabrecast just be on hiatus during the summer when everyone's on vacation and just having fun and not talking about monster movies? I could just talk to myself or Karis. But yeah, I've often pondered that idea. Should Macabrecast just go on hiatus in the summer months? Who knows? Anyway, monster kids out there who might be listening, seriously, weigh in. Send me a voice message. And if you don't want to do that, there's an email now. That's macabretheater666@gmail.com. MACABRETHEATRE. That's all one word. The numbers 666. The @gmail.com. This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there?
Cobwebbed Classics.
Welcome to Cobwebbed Classics, where I dust off a lost, forgotten, or just plain unappreciated film and introduce it to, or maybe just remind you about it, so your spooky Saturday night might run a little creepier. Today's Cobwebbed Classic is 1976's The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, directed by Nicholas Gessner, starring Jodie Foster, Martin Sheen, and Alexis Smith. 15 years before Jodie Foster would match wits with Hannibal Lecter, she played a 13-year-old girl who invites a disabled friend Mario into her dark secret, all the while dodging her nosy and entitled landlord and her pedophile adult son. This was Jodie Foster's first top-billed lead role in a major motion picture. Foster wasn't just playing a 13-year-old, she celebrated her 13th birthday during principal photography. 1976 was truly the year for Foster, who also starred in Bugsy Malone, Freaky Friday, Taxi Driver, and Echoes of a Summer, all in that same year. During the dubbing session, Foster kept insisting she needed to use a bathroom, to which the director kept saying, one more minute, one more minute. After her last plea, she projectile vomited right in his face. Taglines for this gem are as follows.
Thank heaven for little girls. Thank hell for the little girl who lives down the lane. Who is the little girl who lives down the lane? Everyone who knows is dead.
1976's The Little Girl Who Lived Down the Lane is this week's
Cobwebbed Classic.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Metal Melody.
Hello, Doc Mark, Kara's Little Mummy, and all the Macabre cast fans listening in. It is moi, Metal Melody, checking in for episode 167. So, I just want to say I've been on vacation, so I missed last week's. I wasn't able to call in. We got in episode 165. Why are they making a new Nightmare on Elm Street again? Like, good grief? I don't know. I'm just sitting here like shaking my head, honestly. However, I want to say that I am very excited for Crystal Lake coming in October. I'm totally going to binge watch that, and I can't frickin' wait. Last week, I watched Faces of Death, and I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was great. I just didn't really enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. I'd probably give it like, I don't know, 3 out of 5 stars. I think if they had different actors, it may have been a bit better. I really didn't care much for Bobby Ferreira as Margot, and I think a different actress, I don't know, might have given me different feels. Decker was okay, though. He did a good job. I still love him and Billy in Stranger Things, and got the weird feels from him in this too. I don't know. But anyway, Mark had asked how we feel regarding characters breaking the fourth wall, and I am all for it. I love when the characters look at us through the camera for certain parts. It makes me feel like included in a weird way, if that makes sense. I think we talked about this before. I love it though. I do. I love it. I'm like, are you looking at me? Anyway, on to episode 166. Mark, I'm so glad you finally watched Shutter Island. It was such a good movie. And to Chicago Tina, I love the House of the Dead game. It's Salisbury. I think that's what it was called. I always make sure I play that one. It's my favorite one in the arcade whenever I go to Joe's. I also love Galaga, Space Invaders, Q*bert, Pac-Man. And does anybody remember Asteroids? Did anybody like that game? I loved it. I played it all the time in a certain sub shop I used to go to back when I was, 15, 16. All the cute boys would hang out there, so I learned how to play so that I could flirt. Anyway, I have some advice. I think for the next episode, can everybody just keep their clothes on, please? Like, everybody wants everybody to be walking around naked. Like, that's cool if you're home alone, but not when we're in a group setting like this. So just chill, okay? Mark, I love the standby on my appearance. That was too funny. What a way to say I wouldn't be joining you. I friggin' love when you do weird shit like that. Not weird shit. Funny shit.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets.
Regarding the topic of nightmare fuel, I have to say any type of possession movie, as much as I love them, they are definitely my nightmare fuel for sure. I've been on vacation, so I haven't seen any movies really to talk about or rate this episode around. I've been too busy sitting in the sun, enjoying the sand and listening to the waves. Yeah, and being in the water, of course. I know Mark's afraid of the water, but I love the water and I'm always in it, as however cold it is. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Anyway, there's only a few more good weeks left of summer. So I want to say everybody to enjoy it before fall gets here. So yeah, suck up that summer sun, man, because pretty soon the leaves will be fucking falling and we'll be like, oh, I miss summer. And then winter will be here and forget about it. I don't want to go on about winter. But anyway, that's all I have right now, and I shall speak to you again on episode 168. Goodbye.
Swear much, Metal Melody? This is all just fuel for Cecil's fire.
As always, thank you, Metal Melody, for the praise of the show. Feedback, good or bad, is king. I don't know why I liked Faces to Death 2026 so much. I guess because they didn't try to recreate what would be impossible to recreate. The original mockumentary, where it was a staple in time that's long gone. And I'll never forget wearing the t-shirt of the OG Faces to Death to Market Basket, and a guy roughly my age, probably older, says, "Today's kids will never know. They have no idea," as he pointed to my shirt. But actually they do know, far more than us, because of the internet exposed kids far too young to the real deal, real death. So Faces of Death was something we only thought was real. But regardless, Monster Kids get the visual. Dark Market Basket with his Faces of Death t-shirt. Glad you are always enjoying the beach. Don't be like me. Never mind the sharks. But hey, watch out for the behavioral bacteria that's flowing through a lot of those beaches. So glad you're back, Metal Melody, and we look forward to next time.
You are listening to Dark Marks Macabre Cast, episode 167, Nightmare Fuel.
And then there is unintentional nightmare fuel. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Take those lighthearted shows created for children, some for even educational purposes, that intentionally reveal something most adults find terrifying. Vintage stop-motion animation, poorly made puppets that completely define horrific. Most Gen Xers out there still have nightmares over Lady Elaine, a puppet that frequently appeared on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. She was nothing more than an old opinionated eccentric, but to most, the stuff of nightmares. And what about the vastness and dangers of the universe? Back on episode 163, We Are Not Alone, I talked about the late 1970s and all the talk about the planet Mars, the real possibility of life on other planets, and some not so friendly. That was triggering for an 11-year-old. And now in 2026, with all of our scientific knowledge, gone is the fear of little green men. Now it's more along the lines of gamma ray bursts that could happen at any moment and destroy life on Earth before our brains even have time to register we're going to die. Yikes. Take that, Mr. Spielberg. As we age and get into our senior years, fear of uncertainty of ones we love checking out before us. Just imagine going about your weekly routine, let's say meeting at the grocery store from work. And as you wait and time passes, till it's been a significant amount of time that's gone by, long past the scheduled meetup time, only to learn the worst, that something horrific has happened, and they're gone. And shopping together is only one of the things that will never happen again. Nightmare fuel, the propellant that, although maybe something different for all of us, ignites fears deep from within. A simple shadow on the wall in the bedroom that creates sleep paralysis, unexpected sounds in the house that we've never heard before, or that spider that suddenly we have lost track of. And it's big. The inevitability of death. This for many is huge. The fact that we are temporary. Time moves forward, no matter what. One day, we will die.
Do you want to participate in Dark Mark's Macabre Cast? But you don't want to send a voice message? Maybe you don't like the sound of your own voice, or you're shy. Send Dark an email. He can read your thoughts on the show. Your opinion matters. Send Dark an email at macabretheater666@gmail.com.
Goditi questo episodio de Cast Macabro.
Thank you, Maria Monstalia, for telling our Italian friends to enjoy this episode of Macabre Cast.
Shh, come on now, everybody pipe down. It's time for the final thought. You know, when a guy who watches monster movies is all of a sudden going to talk like some kind of philosopher.
The next time you're at the pump, forking over $4 or more a gallon for gas, remember, nightmare fuel comes cheap. It's free, actually. So the next time you're motoring, just keep telling yourself, it's only a movie. It's only a movie. It's only a movie. It's only a movie. Beware the moon. Keep clear of the moors. But most of all, remember, be good to yourself. This is Dark Mark, signing off. See you soon, I hope. This is a Macabre Theater production.
Subscribe us.